This story is of a king. That king was mostly upset. The king tried hard to calm his mind, but he could not. Once he called the great scholars of his kingdom to his palace and asked them for solution. People told him different types of remedies, but none of the remedies worked. One day, a person came to the king and said, "There is a way to calm your mind." The king became very happy after listening to that person and said, "If you do this, I will give you as much money as you ask from me." That person said to the king, "I cannot calm your mind, but there is a monk who can calm your mind. He is not an ordinary monk, he is an accomplished monk. You must meet him once. He will definitely solve your problem." The king asked, "Where can I find this monk?" The man said, "He has a small hut in the forest not far from here." The king, along with some of his soldiers, reached that monk and said, "I have heard that you are a very advanced monk." The monk ignored the king. The king thinks that perhaps the monk did not hear him. The king again said, "I have heard that you are a great monk. Can you solve my problem?" The monk did not answer any of the king's questions. The king thought in his mind, "Why the monk is not giving any answer?" After some time, the king said, "Can you calm my mind?" The monk smiled and asked, "Why is your mind restless?" The king said, "Well, I don't lack anything. I have so much money that I have no idea myself. All the comforts are convenience. People have respect for me. I have also done a lot of charity, but there is only one thing lacking in me. My mind remains restless. Even if it calms down sometimes, it becomes turbulent again. Can you ease my mind? I have come to you with lot of hope. Rest, I have taken all the measures. Only you are my last hope." The monk said to that king, "Of course, I can calm your mind." The king was very happy after listening to this. The king said, "For that, what do I have to do?" The monk smiled and said, "Come to me tomorrow morning, but make sure you come alone." The king said, "Okay, I will come to you tomorrow morning." The monk said, "But remember one more thing. Bring your restless mind with you." The king got shocked after hearing this and thought, "What kind of thing did the monk say?" The king said, "What did you say? Will you please tell me one more time?" The monk said, "You come early tomorrow morning and bring your troubled mind with you, lest it happen that you keep it in your palace and come alone." The king thought that this person is a mad, but because now the king has no option, so he thought that once must try. The next day, the king alone approached the monk early in the morning and said, "I have come." The monk said to that king, "But where is your troubled mind? Bring it, give it to me. I will calm it down and give it to you." The king said, "What are you talking? Being such an accomplished monk, you don't even know that the mind is not such a thing that I can pick it up and give it to you. It is within me." The monk said to the king, "Okay, then sit down and close your eyes and search for that restless mind within you." The king tried to find that troubled mind within himself by closing his eyes. After sitting for a long time with closed eyes, the monk put his hand on the king's shoulder and said, "Open your eyes." The king opened his eyes. The monk asked the king, "Have you got your restless mind?" The king said, "No." The monk said to the king, "No problem. You can try tomorrow. That much search is enough for today." The king went to his palace. Next day morning, the king again came to the monk, and he did as the monk had told him yesterday. The king sat down and closed his eyes and tried to find that troubled mind within himself. The king sat for a long time. The monk put his hand on the shoulder and said, "Have you found your troubled mind?" The king said to the monk in a very calm voice, "No." Then the monk said, "No problem. This is enough for today. Now you come tomorrow." Next morning, the king again came to the monk and did the same thing as he was doing for the past 2 days. The king sat and closed his eyes and tried to find that troubled mind. This time, the monk did not make the king open his eyes by placing his hand on his shoulder. The king just sat with his closed eyes. A lot of time passed. The monk sat near the king only. Whole day passed. The night passed. But the king was still searching for that troubled mind of his with closed eyes. The next morning, the king opened his eyes, and as soon as the king's eyes opened, the king put his head at the feet of the monk and said, "I did not find my restless mind anywhere, but definitely found that peace, in search of which I was wandering till now." Friends, like that king, you are also searching for your peace of mind somewhere outside. That peace is not somewhere outside. That peace is within you. You just need to find it within yourself.